I never believed in soulmates, but I thought Claire and I had something close. We weren't perfect, no couple is, but we understood each other. Or at least, I thought we did. We had been married for 5 years, together for 8. We had a beautiful home, a strong social circle, and dreams of starting a family. I believed we were happy. I believed she was happy. Looking back, the warning signs had been there all along. The late nights at work, the locked phone, the way she suddenly became distant, only to act overly affectionate when I questioned things. But love makes you blind, and I had been blind for far too long. The truth came to me on an ordinary Thursday morning. Claire had left her laptop open on the dining table before heading out for the day. She was always cautious with her devices, so this was rare. Normally, I wouldn't have thought much of it, but something about the way she had rushed out that morning, barely kissing me goodbye, made my stomach churn. I told myself I was just checking the battery. That was a lie. A single email changed everything. Last night was perfect. I love you. I stared at the screen, my heart pounding so loudly I could hear it in my ears. The message was from someone named E, a man. At that moment, my world didn't just crack, it shattered. I didn't confront her immediately. If I accused her without proof, she'd spin a story, make me doubt myself. Claire was good at that, twisting things until I felt like the villain. So, I watched. I started paying attention to every little detail. The way she guarded her phone, always turning it face down. The sudden extra time spent getting ready for meetings. The change in her perfume. I checked our credit card statements. There were hotel charges I never knew about, expensive dinners at restaurants we had never been to together. Then I did something I never thought I'd do. I followed her. On a Friday night, she told me she was going to girls' night with her friends. Instead, she drove across town to a quiet, dimly lit house. I parked down the street, gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. She didn't come out for hours. I already knew what was happening inside that house, but the truth still felt like a knife to the gut. I had spent years building a life with a woman who had been building something else, behind my back, in the dark. When she finally got home that night, I was sitting on the couch, waiting. She didn't notice the tension in the air. She smiled, kissed my cheek, and asked if I had eaten dinner. The smell of a man's cologne still clung to her clothes, not mine. "How was girls' night?" I asked. She hesitated. "It was fun. Just a lot of talking, you know." I nodded, gripping my fists to stop myself from reacting. "That's good. You deserve a break." She smiled, completely unaware of the storm brewing inside me. That night, I lay in bed next to her, staring at the ceiling while she slept peacefully. She had no idea that this was the last time things would ever be normal. I could have screamed at her, thrown her stuff out, demanded answers. But Claire wasn't the type to break under confrontation. She was manipulative, a master at dodging blame. I needed to hit her where it hurt. Claire worked in public relations. Her image was everything to her. Her career depended on people trusting her. If the world saw her as dishonest, her career would crumble. So I spent the next few days preparing. I compiled emails, messages, even security footage from a hotel she had checked into using our shared credit card. Every piece of evidence was copied and saved. Then, I reached out to someone who could make the biggest impact, her boss. On the morning of her company's biggest networking event, I sent the emails to her boss, to her closest friends, to her family. The fallout was immediate. Her boss let her go. The company couldn't afford the scandal. Her friends, disgusted by her actions, distanced themselves. Even her parents, whom she had always tried so hard to impress, were ashamed. Claire came home that evening, pale and shaking. "What did you do?" she whispered. I looked at her, really looked at her. For the first time in months, the woman in front of me wasn't the woman I had fallen in love with. "I did what you deserved." She begged, cried, screamed, but I didn't care anymore. Claire moved out within a week. She tried reaching out to me, apologizing, making excuses, but I was done. I wasn't going to waste another second on someone who never valued me. The best revenge isn't anger or hatred, it's indifference. And as I watched her leave for the last time, I realized something. I wasn't broken anymore. I was free.